Hey gamers, Rob here, and today I'm looking to play a handheld. I don't know, I want something small that I can carry around. Yeah, what have I got? Too big. Too frickin' big. Oh, come on now, that's just outrageous. Close, but still too big. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. A handheld.
Retro Rob plays everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet the PocketSTAR. Wow, is it tiny. This is the world's tiniest handheld, at least as far as I know. It is itty bitty, and I'll hold it up next to some other game systems in a little bit just to show you how small it really is. This is not a Famiclone. This is a Arduino based game system. It uses the Atmel D21 running at 48 megahertz. It has 256K of flash, which I assume is where it stores its OS, and then it's got 32K of system RAM, making it pretty powerful for an 80s machine. So that's an old retro style system. I believe it's 32-bit operating system though. It's not an 8-bit system. The screen is absolutely tiny, but it's very bright. It has 96 by 64 resolution. Looking at the front, has a D-pad and an A B button. The D-pad works pretty well for the size, works much better than many Famiclones I've used, and the buttons seem to work just fine as well. Turning to the right side, yeah, that's right, there's a TF card reader in the side of it, so you can slide in micro SD and run games. There's two folders on there, and one's a games folder and one's a utils folder. You drop games in the games, you know, you get the idea. And basically it's formatted FAT16, drop the games in the folder and they play. It's really easy installation, so I'm not going to go through that too much. Looking up at the corner, we have a spot for a lanyard. We've got the main power button. You hit that and hold it, and you can turn the system off. If you tap it, it will break into the menu. If you're inside of a game, nothing on that side to report. On the back, you're going to see a space for a speaker. There is no speaker in this, but there's a vibration function. So yeah, this has like a primitive force feedback system in it. So I guess to make up for not having a real speaker, they did that. I do hear that future models are going to have an actual speaker in it, so keep an eye out for that if you're thinking of purchasing. You might want to hold off until a model with real sound comes out. Anyway, finally we have got a micro SD charging port on the bottom. And that, my friends, is that. It's very basic. Looking on the main menu, you can see that there's games, apps, settings, and info. I'm going to have a horrible time holding this still enough for you guys actually to see it. So, pardon me if there's not a whole lot of action going on here and movement, but it is really hard to get this. Even with this camera, which is a fairly good one, it's just hard to get a close enough zoom to record the screen on this. Alright, settings screen. On the top we have brightness. And yeah, it's got a brightness function. Obviously that affects battery life. You have also got a vibration function. You want to keep that on even though it does use more battery. I like it because it gives you some much needed feedback in games since there's no sound. LED color. There's actually a little LED indicator up in here. And yes, you can change the color of the LED just by selecting it here. Or you can turn it off. It's probably best to turn it off to save energy. Finally, there's an auto standby. Well, I shouldn't say finally. There's an auto standby function set to 5 minutes. That means it will automatically basically put itself into standby if you're not playing it. And then finally, you can eject the internal SD card. You'll want to do that before you pop the card out. The info will show you basically firmware version, a little bit about the system. I'm not going to go through that too much, but you can see it right here. And there you go, look at that. Very exciting. And you can page over by hitting right. Alright, I guess I did go through it quite a bit, because there's not much there. Next, we do have an application menu. There is the random number generator, the counter, dice. These aren't built in, by the way. You got to install them on SD. But you can download them from their site. There's a stopwatch. And there's actually other applications that I don't have loaded in here. And there we go. Look at that. Little timer. Very exciting. Alright, you really want to see a couple games, don't you? And we're going to play a couple games. Alright, so here I am in the games menu. If I press right, I can go up one game and left, down one game. Again, just installing the games in the game folder, unzipped, puts them on the screen. It's that easy. It's a very simple system to put things into. And I think I'm going to do Pocket Invaders because I'm kind of fond of this game. It's a nice little Space Invaders game. Again, I'm going to have a hard time holding this still enough for you to actually see it decently. But there it is. You know, it's a very simple Space Invaders game, but you know what? It looks really nice. It's got nice bright colors. And one of the problems I'm having right now is I'm having a really hard time seeing through the camera. Because it's really just that small. Alright, let's look at this thing next to a Game Boy, and then I'll show you another game on it. Here is the PocketSTAR next to my big old Game Boy Pocket. Look at that thing. This has got the backlight mod on it, by the way. Looks really cool, doesn't it? But look at how huge it is next to this. It's ridiculous. Oh, Arduboy, you're so thick. I thought I'd never say. Look at the size of this thing. Again, just tiny. However, look at that. Arduboy's much thinner. Meet Pocket Tris, which I know I'm gonna get crap if I do not play it from some of you. So here we go. I'm not gonna play it well because I can barely see it at this distance. So sorry about the gameplay. Oh, got it in there. And oh, messed up. And that was not the controller's fault. I pressed a little too far to the left. So, another thing about this, if I want to go to the main menu, I hit this top button, and as you can see, I've got a little menu here, and I can turn the vibration on and off. I can also adjust the brightness, or just go back to the main menu to play something else. And here we have meteors. Hit the A button to thrust and run into meteors. And then I can hit my B button to fire. So that's a little asteroids clone. And it's pretty good. I like the way that they added a little thrust effect. Come on. Get up. Oh no. I'm surprised I'm doing this while I'm trying to play it through the camera. Oh crap. Oh no, I died. Alright, one more. And this is Treasure Miner, which is way more fun than it really has any right being. This is basically Kaboom, where you avoid the bombs and try and capture all the goodies. It's pretty simple, and it's, again, more fun than I thought it would be. Watch out, don't, hit one. Don't hit that. Yeah, not bad. I mean, you know, like I said, not an award-winning game by any stretch of the imagination, but if this thing's hanging from your keychain, it's something fun to play, and it'll waste a little bit of time. Not bad. So, what's the verdict on the PocketSTAR? Well, the construction quality is pretty darn good. It feels nice. It does not feel like a cheap device. I've also heard stories of this being left in the wash in somebody's pocket and it's surviving. So, hey, give it some points for that. They did have to dry it out first, though. Don't test that. don't do that yourself. That would be silly. Screen quality is nice. Controls work good. Wish it would have had some sound because it does have a spot to put a speaker, but they couldn't work that out before shipping. Again, I've heard that future versions of this might have it, but that's kind of a disappointment. But it's partially made up by the fact that there's a vibration function, which is really great since you might be playing this in public quite a bit. They remembered to include a spot for a lanyard so you can actually put this on your keychain, and I'm guessing it's probably durable and small enough to really go on a keychain. You could probably actually use it for that function and expect it to survive. That said, the price I think is a little bit high. It's right around $40 right now, and the selection of games isn't really huge. I would say if the selection of games went up and they added the sound, I wouldn't have a hard time with like $35 for something like this because it is pretty darn cool. But as it stands, I'm going to give it a partial thumbs up because it is cool. I do not feel bad about buying it, though my wife might. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Also, if you have any other questions about this thing, please let me know and I'll try to answer them in the comments down below. And I'll see you in a couple days. Bye.